Hello, I'm Shashi Seth, speaking to you from San Bruno, California. I apologize for not being able to make this conference in person and spend time with all of you. However, I'm here to speak about an important topic for all of us around the world, focusing on the future of television and as it pertains to children and new media. It is a fun and interesting topic and a very relevant one for Generation Y. In 1939, when RCA first unveiled the commercial television at the New York Trade Fair, nobody really knew what to expect. World War II slowed down programming, but when World War II ended, RCA spent a fair amount of time working with its subsidiary NBC to come up with lots of programming. Few of it was focused on education, but today that landscape has changed. There's plenty of educational and informational programming available on the internet. I know it, I watch it with my kids sometimes, and there's lots to say about it. Over the years, children's programming has received a huge boost from channels like PBS, Disney, Discovery, National Geographic, BBC. They have done a wonderful job of bringing together tons of programming for kids focused on topics like geography, exploration, animal kingdom, and so on. I have often found myself glued to the TV watching these programs with my children and find myself enjoying these programs just the same as I would as a kid. Yet, I have never seen children's programming available for mathematics or literature. The simple reason is there isn't a demand for it. There just aren't enough children who want to watch these kind of programs. The channels are also limited by the amount of time and the amount of capability they have in producing these programs. That's the limitation of the television infrastructure. However, over the last 10-15 years, internet has really changed the game. Look at the websites for the channels like BBC, PBS, National Geographic, and you will find that they have tons of content there that just isn't available on the televisions. Why is that so? Simply because they are not restricted by their ability to stream one program at a time. The internet changed the game by offering the ability to offer programming on demand. This means that a user no longer has to be in front of the television to watch a program. They can simply get to it when they want it and how they want it. And often this happens when the user has a need for information. The community features on the internet really take care of the distribution. Users sending emails to each other, forwarding interesting video clips, discussing, rating, and reviewing content on the internet so that the best content may be filtered to the top. That facility does not exist on television today. Media has evolved too. The early days of the internet were restricted to text and images. That has changed in the recent years. Rich media has taken over, and you will find lots of video and interactive material available on the internet. Both professionally created content, like the ones offered by Discovery Channel, and user-generated content have adopted the new media, and it is easy to see how children will use and interact with this new media to learn and gain information. Apart from being able to offer programming on demand, internet also offers lots of capabilities like interactivity, feedback, and all kinds of interesting mashups, like mixing video with text and pictures, podcasts, comments and feedback from users. Generation Y finds this new media very compelling, spending a lot of time on sites like MySpace, YouTube, and others. Over the years, children have evolved too. Let us spend a bit more time focusing on the user. Observe the activities of a child today, and it is easy to see that they are not only internet savvy, but are complex multitaskers. I know my children are watching TV with a laptop on their laps and occasionally with a gaming console like a Nintendo DS by their side. I have also observed that when they watch a compelling program on TV, they will research it on the internet, on Google of course, or will go to the website of the channel and find additional information. and look at how kids are engaging with the internet for their homework, performing research, finding materials like pictures, and creating reports online, and sharing it with their teachers and friends. Bottom line is that children are engaging with the new media in many ways, and industry is rushing in to fill in the gaps. The industry owes a great deal to Japan for bringing down the cost of digital cameras to the point where they have become so affordable that close to 100 million digital cameras were sold worldwide in 2006. Over 350 million mobile phones that have a video camera built in were sold worldwide, and the number will grow to almost 500 million this year. These devices, combined with some amazing video editing software, contribute to a plethora of low-cost production videos. Creating videos that are useful, educational, and informative is not a large undertaking anymore, and can be done at low cost, yet be very professional. During the 80s and 90s, there was much talk about teleeducation, and much was done in this way of bringing education to remote locations and bringing education to the masses. An example of such a program is a recently launched teleeducation effort in India called EduSat, which is trying to conduct education via the means of remote satellite programming, connecting hundreds of locations across India via TV to cover all sectors of education and training, from primary and secondary education to professional and teacher education as well. However, internet video, both streaming and pre-taped, is making headway here too. A good example of this is the MIT courseware project, where tons of videos for education are available online for teachers and students to use alike. In the coming years, I see that channels like BBC, Discovery, Disney, PBS, etc. will produce very high quality content for both TV and internet, but really covering the head end of the content. Topics that are interesting to the biggest chunk of their audience. The torso and the tails of the content, things that the fragmented users worldwide truly care about, although in much smaller audiences, will be covered by the internet and possibly through user-generated content. The phenomena may be much like Wikipedia, where users who are passionate about a particular topic produce web content for that topic. Much like that, users may produce video content about that topic and share it with like-minded users. Take a look at some of the educational videos on YouTube. They are small in length, yet very well done and informative.
And here's how you do it. You take your first fraction and you just bring it down. Nothing happens to that first fraction. It stays the same. You take the second fraction and you flip it. So instead of 1 over 2, now you have 2 over 1. And then you dip. Instead of dividing, you multiply. So we flipped and we dipped, and now all we have to do is multiply straight across to get our answer. This is how we divide fractions. So 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 1 is 4. And
today I'm going to introduce to you the 4 click sounds in my language. The first click is the second click is the third click is
In conclusion, I'm going to leave the panel with the following thoughts. Will the internet rise to the challenge and become as ubiquitous as television? Will masses of children have access to it from their homes, from remote corners of the world? Is there a model in which large numbers of users around the world collaborate and produce excellent content? After all, Wikipedia has done it for text and graphics. Can it be done for video as well? Can this kind of education and learning supplement or supplant traditional education? Will the traditional media be left behind, or will they embrace the new medium? Let's see what the panel has to say about these issues. Thank you for having me here. Bye for now.